So today we're going to take a ride. I usually don't take you outside of my garage. I keep you stuck in the darkness. But today's a little bit special. Before we get into the mods list, I want to show you something. Past 3 years, I've been driving past this building that you just saw, and every time we drive past it, I tell my wife, if it ever becomes for sale, I want to buy it. And we had to make some pretty extreme family sacrifices, but we bought the building. So I'm going to show it to you real quick, and then we're going back to the garage. So the obvious question that you probably have is, great, what are you going to do with it? The answer is I don't know. I've just always wanted this building. It's patinaed. It's beat up. It was an old motorcycle shop from the 70s. And it's just been sitting here vacant for years close to my house in Ohio. And it's just such a beautiful building. It has all the makings of something spectacular. Everything is worn and old, and it just has character. My wife thinks I'm absolutely crazy, and she's probably right to an extent, but this is something I've always wanted. I've always wanted my own place. I don't want to make it a shop. I don't want to sell things. I don't want to lift vehicles. I don't want to do that. I just want it to be mine. It's going to take many years probably to afford to renovate it, but over time we will slowly be working on this project and bringing this old dilapidated motorcycle shop back to life and repurposing it for something that I'm super pumped about. I just don't know what that thing is. I'm just happy that I'm going to get a chance to do something I've always wanted to do. So let's go back to the garage. All right. Oh, this microphone's a little close. We are back in the garage with the field notes. And today we are going to be talking about the mod list that we're going to be doing for the 2024 Subaru Outback Wilderness. Okay, so before we get started today, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video and every video you will see here on the channel, and where you can access every single thing I think that we talk about today for your Subaru Outback Wilderness. That is Adventure Rig Shop. AdventureRigShop.com is where you can find all those items. The link is in the description. Use the code NOMAD at checkout to save yourself 5%. Okay, so as some of you know and some of you may not know, I did pick up the 2024 Subaru Outback Wilderness. The last video, which I will link up here that you can go watch, is kind of like my comparison video. It kind of goes over what it is that's different for the 2024, and honestly, if the 2024 is worth it over a 2022 or 2023. In short, so you don't have to watch the entire video unless you're interested in specifics, is yes. Yes, 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 it's better. It's better on multiple levels for multiple reasons, but we're not getting into that today. We're going to talk about today the mod list. I've been asked a lot of questions, so I want to say a couple of things before we get into the list. We'll make it short. I am going to do a detailed install video on every single item that I install. I've been asked for that a couple of times, and I generally do this thing right here, and then I do some B-roll overlay. You guys get to watch as I talk. You don't have to look at my face, and you get to see most of the process. But the reality is there's a lot more that goes on to installs, and everybody knows no install is easy, no matter how easy the video makes it seem. So I am going to just do every single one by one. The next video on the channel will be the rock slider installation. The rock sliders are absolutely epic, and if you have not seen that video, I will put that video up here talking through everything that you need to know about the rock sliders, but the installation video will be important, so I'm going to do that. That will be the next video, and then so on and so forth. The list I have right here is rather long. It's a long list. A lot of it is repeat, and a lot of it I'm transferring from one vehicle to the next. So let's just get into it, and I'll stop talking about the things that maybe you don't care about, maybe you do. I don't know. First one is the compressor mount. The compressor mount, as well as the compressor, how to install that is the video, and then we will talk about, you know, its uses. Everybody knows if you go off-road, airing down your tires is great. It makes it more comfortable, gives you more traction in trickier situations, and we will be doing that video. So the compressor and the compressor mount, I took that off the 22. I'm putting that right on the 24. That may answer some people's questions. Does it fit the 24? The answer, in short, yes, it does. I'll show you how. Next one will be the bumper bar. The bumper bar, you maybe have seen a previous video of me installing the bumper bar on my 2022. That will also be right there if you want to watch it. I'm very close, so I'm sorry. I just looked at the screen. I didn't realize I was that close. I'll try to, I don't know. I just get into it. I get into the video. But the bumper bar, you've already seen it, and if you haven't, I put the link up there. You can check it out. Super simple install, but I will show you how it installs on the 24. I don't believe it's any different, but I have been asked specifically for that video if somebody can show them exactly what to do. So I'm going to do that. Then the winch and the winch mount. Now, I did not put the winch or the winch mount on the 2022. Why is that? Well, I didn't want to. I just didn't feel like installing it. I really didn't. I was like on the fence about the car, and excuse me, I didn't want to spend any more money, and I didn't want to install it, so I never did. But this car I want to build, it's going to be a bit bougie. I'll be honest with you. It's going to go on light adventures. It's going to do a heck of a lot of storm chasing. I can tell you that much. But it's not going to be like beat up like the last one. Like, I really took the last one way too far and did things that it just shouldn't have been done. I don't need to do those things again. So it's going to be a bit of a bougie build. And the reason I say that is behind me. Well, I'm going to skip this when we get there. Let's see. I've never used these lights. I've always been against it, but I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped to have Baja Designs. It's bougie, I know. It's definitely bougie. But it's gonna be like a show car. I'm really hoping to get it into SEMA. If you're out there, Subaru, or any of the other people that are going to be at SEMA, get a hold of me. I'd love to have this car at your booth. Also, Baja Designs, again, bougie, but we went with the LP4s. Still have plastic on them. So I'm doing the LP4 Baja Designs on the front bumper. I'm not gonna reveal everything, but yeah, so Baja Designs. I'm not even a little bit upset about it, except I'm not gonna eat this week. It's just food, you know, my daughter will be fine. The next thing is the Prinsu rack. So I'm on the fence about this one. This vehicle, full disclosure, this vehicle is being built by other companies. I do not have to build this one all on my own dime. The Baja Designs lights I did have to pay for, but people are helping me, and my intention is to get it into SEMA or some of these shows that are around the country, and that's kind of what I'm saying. But Prinsu, the rack, I am working with Prinsu and hopefully going to get the rack delivered, and that way I can get it installed. And if I don't get a Prinsu rack, then I probably won't put a rack on it just because I don't need to. I really like it. I like the way it sits. I don't want stuff on my roof, but if I get a Prinsu rack, then I'm definitely going to put a Roam box. I'm definitely going to put the shovel and the Max Trax and the axe, and it's going to look sweet. But at the end of the day, I don't really need it. The Roam boxes on your roof, if you do have those, or if you don't have them, super helpful. I would recommend it. Just don't get the really tall ones. Get the slimmer ones, and makes carrying things so much easier. Things that you don't want inside the car, you don't need inside the car. I digress. Here I go. Wheels and tires. I am going bronze, and that is because of everybody on Instagram. Everybody on Instagram voted. Like 78% of the people who voted for bronze. So bronze it is. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, that is nativenomads.us, where I post pretty much daily things, pictures, stuff that I like to do, landscape photography. If you're into following that type of stuff, please come along. But the wheels, I'm going bronze. I have not decided on the brand. If you have some input on bronze brand wheels, I know LP Adventure, I had those already. So I don't want to do LP Adventure again. I want to do another company and give them a go. But definitely let me know. We are going to go bronze. I already have the tires. Nitto. Last year, Nitto supplied me a pair of Nomad grapplers that I put on for maybe 100 miles. I'm going to put those on the wheels because they're upstairs, and I'm going to see how those turn out. So I'm super stoked to be able to give you an opinion about a different tire, because you guys know, if you've been here a long time, KO2s, BFG, that's just the way I usually do things, but we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. Tint. Already did that. Couldn't wait. Couldn't wait. I can't drive around in a car without tint. I can tell you that. Just people looking at you every time you're sitting there. Not that they're looking at me for any particular reason, but even if they're not, I feel it. I feel like people staring at when you're at the stop, you're just sitting there and like your windows are bare. I don't know if you have bare windows. If you do, then get a tint. But I went 5%. I did not tint the windshield, but I went 5%. I used to go 5% all the time. Then I stopped. Now I'm back, and it's so nice knowing that nobody can see who's driving the car. Not that I'm not that important, but I just like being able to stare at people at stoplights, and they don't know I'm looking at them, so it's kind of fun. Refrigerator. I am going to put a Dometic fridge in the back, and it'll probably be the CFX45. It'll be a smaller fridge. It'll be something that I can just keep drinks and food in for light adventures, nothing crazy, and a power station. I have not decided on a power station either. I have reached out to a couple companies. I'm trying to get one pro bono from them. Whether that'll happen or not, couldn't tell you, but I want something in between that probably 1,000 watt hour range is what I'm looking at, something that I can charge through maybe an inverter in the car or maybe solar, something like that. I'm not real sure, but some type of power station. All the cars always have power stations, first aid kits. That's not a mod, but your first aid kit should be something you have in your car all of the time, no matter what, and it should be the first thing you put in the car before you even drive it anywhere remote. Just something safety. I know, kind of a prepper, but that's okay. Aux beam. I'm doing the aux beam 6-gang switch again. I'm sorry you're not seeing these products. I'm just talking to you, but that's just the way it's got to be today, because I'm not doing a bunch of B-roll for it just because I don't want to. So the aux beam 6-gang switch, you guys have seen that video on my channel. If not, I'll put it here so you can look at that. It's a very inexpensive way to control your off-road and auxiliary lights. Phone mounting options. Now this is where I need your guys' help. I have yet to find a suitable phone mounting solution for the Outback Wilderness. Previously, I drilled into that little plastic piece that covers your radio, just on top of your radio. If you put your hands on that plastic piece, you can pull on it, push down and pull, and it'll come right off. So I just drilled some holes in there. I put my phone mounting things on there, 67 designs, and that worked. But because I have a big phone, I have the Pro Max, like the big phone, so it would like jiggle. Sorry, that's the light. It would jiggle. You know, it would just jiggle all the time. I'd be hitting bumps and it would just be bouncing around. It just wasn't, like if you were trying to look at directions, or God forbid read a text and you're hitting bumps, you're like, you feel drunk. So that is something I'm looking for. And if you guys have any information on anybody who makes a good mounting solution for the Outback Wilderness, please, please, please leave that in the comments. I am in dire need of that. Single roam box. I already talked about roam. I am going to put a roam box up there as long as I get the Prinsu rack, because I think it's awesome to have. They're super durable, keep all your stuff safe. And then I love to have like my tripods and crap like that up there that I just don't need in my car. I really like to put that up there. That way I can just get to it. My air down tools, just regular tools, all of that stuff can stay up there and it doesn't have to be in the car. It gives me more space. Max Track Shovel Axe, already talked about that. But I am going to be, not building, but I am going to be utilizing the passenger side of the vehicle. I'm pretty sure the passenger side has the 60% fold down. The other side is the 40%. But that fold down on the passenger side is where I'm going to be using my X-Ped. My X-Ped is what I'm going to use to sleep on. So the second we get all of this stuff done, I get back to Arizona, what I am going to do is go on a couple camping trips. And I'm going to do it solo, because there won't be any room for anybody else. Go on a couple solo camping trips, probably out to the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. I freaking love that place, and if you've never been there, highly recommend it. Great landscape photography, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles of trails. You could spend a week there and never see the same place twice. That's what I'm about. And it's winter, and it's desert. It'll be cold at night and warm in the day. So if you've never heard of the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge, I would highly suggest you check it out. It is one of my favorite places of all time. The mountains are just like jagged and, oh God, it's beautiful. But I'm going to use an X-Ped to sleep there. So I'm going to use an X-Ped in the back of the vehicle. I'm going to show you my trick for leveling out the back hatch area. It's very simple. It doesn't take anything. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. You'll probably laugh when I show you, but I'll show you how I do all that, and I'll make this like that stealth single camper that I was talking about before, and I'll be able to go out and do my landscape thing and do my aurora. The aurora is supposed to be here tonight. Aurora borealis. Oh, I freaking forgot. Crap. I wanted to go shoot the aurora. There's like this big sun flare. Anyways, that's all I got. Do you see how my head works? That's me. That is how I operate 95% of the time. I am 100 miles an hour until I get distracted, and then I'm back. So anyways, but that's the build plan. It is going to be awesome. I'm super stoked to do it. I'm super stoked to show you how I'm doing it, and I'm super stoked to help you with anything that you need. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments. I will happily respond to them, and if you have something that may need a little bit more attention, please direct message me on Instagram. I try to check the request tab every single day just to follow up with people that have messaged me, and yeah, that's it. So Grumpy's Auto Cycle, whatever the frick that building's called. It's rad, and I'm super stoked for it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But hey, I guess that's just what life's about. So, fireworks. I'll see you on the next one.